A summer Sunday on the Costa Tropical of Granada turned within minutes into a scene of chaos and collective panic. What began as a normal afternoon at the beach, with families enjoying the sun and tourists filling the sand, transformed into an extreme meteorological episode that no one expected. Around 7 o'clock in the evening, a phenomenon known as a thermal explosion struck the area, raising the temperature to 40 degrees Celsius in a matter of minutes and unleashing winds comparable to those of a hurricane. The intensity of the phenomenon surprised everyone. The wind lifted sand, forcing people to cover their faces with their hands, while umbrellas, chairs, and objects flew uncontrollably through the air. The chaos was immediate. In the water, at least 7 people were trapped in the middle of the waves and had to be rescued. Some were dragged out to sea on inflatable mattresses and surfboards. The Civil Guard and Maritime Rescue deployed boats and helicopters to respond to the emergencies. 3 people were rescued on La Rejoya Beach, and 2 others were assisted by a private boat that transported them to the port of Motril. Meanwhile, on land, the winds tore branches from trees and knocked down cornices and light structures in municipalities such as Salobreña, Almuñécar, La Herradura, Torrenueva, Carcuna, Calahonda, Castel de Ferro, and Albion. The emergency service 112 of Andalusia received nearly 20 calls in just a few minutes, reporting incidents of falling objects, power outages, and people trapped in the middle of the sandstorm. Confusion increased when a false rumor of a tsunami began to circulate. On social media, some users warned of a possible tidal wave in the area, which increased panic among those trying to flee the beach. Faced with the situation, the Emergency Service 112 was forced to issue a statement clarifying that there was no tsunami risk in Granada or anywhere else in Andalusia. The mayor of Motril, Luisa Garcia Chamorro, also spoke out on her social media. Minutes after 8 o'clock in the evening, she warned that the city was experiencing a thermal wave with almost hurricane-force winds and asked the population not to leave their homes. In Almuñécar, the mayor Juan Jose Ruiz explained that what had occurred was a dry storm or thermal explosion, characterized by extremely hot air, violent gusts, and a sudden deterioration of atmospheric conditions. In a matter of minutes, what had been a festive summer Sunday atmosphere turned into a stampede. Bathers ran to seek shelter, some covering their faces with towels, while others hurriedly abandoned the beaches in the middle of the sandstorm. The magnitude of the phenomenon was reflected in official data. At 7:50 in the evening, the temperature reached 40.1 degrees Celsius at the port of Motril, and wind gusts exceeded 86 kilometers per hour. The State Meteorological Agency confirmed that what had occurred was a thermal explosion, a very rare phenomenon that happens when masses of dry and hot air suddenly descend from the upper layers of the atmosphere. On the beaches of Torrenueva and Salobreña, the wind lifted so much sand that visibility was reduced almost to zero, forcing entire families to take refuge in bars and nearby houses. The rescues at sea continued into the night. Helicopters flew over the area while a search was conducted for a person who had been reported missing, although later it was not clear whether the alert was real. Witnesses described the experience as terrifying. A neighbor reported that the wind was so hot it felt as if it came from the Sahara, while others compared the scene to an apocalyptic scenario due to the rapid change in the weather. Granada recorded the highest temperature of the year that day, with 43 degrees Celsius at the airport and more than 39 degrees in other parts of the province, which intensified the effects of the storm. The so-called Devil's Storm left an indelible mark on the Costa Tropical. The mass evacuations, the panic of the bathers, and the damage to homes and beaches showed how vulnerable the region can be to sudden and unpredictable phenomena.